Good evening, friends. So here we are for the 11th episode of the Scale Up Skills and Learning series. So far, we have been consistently working on how, as an MFD or as a financial expert, we all can grow, we all can scale up and learn more skills and take it further. So we started again the same thing with the first episode with the stalwarts. The second episode, the key highlight was Dr. Radhakrishna Pillai. The third episode was about the views of the markets by Professor Dr. Ajay Pathak from a director IBS Kolkata and five of our MFD friends. Then again, episode 4 was on Bollywood movies, how we and what we learned from them. Amazing stories shared by Mahesh Ghatani, Devendra Goswami. In the next episode, we had Life is a Celebration and the technical aspects of intellectual properties. Episode 6 was again special, wherein 12 of our volatility coaches, Generation Next, presented their ideas why they are in this business. So today's actually is a connect with that, which Dr. Celso will be elaborating more, why youth and how big the opportunity is all for us. We had a session on fundamental analysis. Then during the Navratri time, we had 9 of our top performing personal finance experts. Okay, all of them presented this. Then episode 9 was about niche marketing, about how niche can play a big role, wherein Nitin and Sanjeev also shared their ideas along with Eric. The previous episode, which was all about why you should be focusing on MFDs or RIAs or both. How are all these things moving further, moving forward, and how are we all placed in a situation like this? So let's have a little recap of the previous session.
So keyword to discuss is incidental advice. This is with MFD and we are very, very powerful because of this incidental advice option. And this is not a small word.
I've been selling mutual life insurance in the early days, but slowly I started marketing mutual fund schemes also.
Session, we will give the solution. In that solution, we will consider in insurance planning. Insurance planning, in the sense, we will give only term insurance and health insurance.
And we were taking help of some AMCs, and then we started making in various locations where we thought potential clients are located.
Personally, my allocation alone, since 2011, I was investing in gold, and 1 year back, I lost my patience. I took out my money in gold.
I started my career into broking business, stayed for about 3 years. Then I joined the bank, the erstwhile ABN AMRO and RBS.
So that was all about the previous sessions, wherein we had whatever we learned. And I think we are just halfway through the journey. The journey will again, this temporary journey, which is of 21 weeks, will end on 23rd of January 2021. And before moving into 2021, so we are having this 21-week program. So today we have this two very, very special people, Dr. Celso Fernandis from Goa and Deepesh from Bangalore. Both of them are authors. Dr. Celso has written and published 6 books, and Deepesh has also written a book which is for children and for planning for their children. So both of them, today's whole theme is all about talking about youth and talking about children and how to influence them, how to onboard them. Maybe it is through their parents or maybe it is directly through the youth. What is all that they are doing and what is that we all can learn from them so that we all can actually implement the same in our business. So this is the overall idea, and with this idea, we start today's session, and looking forward to learn from Dr. Celso and Deepesh. So over to you, Dr. Celso.
Yeah, just you're setting up the screen. Well, good evening, friends, and a very, very happy evening, I should say, or a very the eve to the Diwali season. In fact, today now we are going to be celebrating Dhanteras. We have all of us are looking forward to now investing in this period when actually the markets are at its peak, I should say. And I must thank first and foremost, of course, Almighty God for blessing me with this profession, which in fact, through this profession, I'm able to make a huge difference to the society. And second, I must say thank you to Kanak as well as the Financial Freedom Fraternity, because this group is really active and doing a lot of activities as far as financial literacy is concerned across the country, because we can see a lot of financial advisors attending these programs. In fact, I've also been attending a lot of these programs. So I must say thank you once again to Kanak for inviting me for this special session, wherein we have titled the session as Your Roots Create Your Fruits. So based upon how you treat your youngsters and how the youngsters learn about this financial habits, basically the outcomes will come in the future. And these outcomes can be great. So not to take much of your time, just to introduce yourself of my career now in the 12 years in this amazing financial world. Basically, my profession was dentistry, because I was a full-time practicing private practice as far as a dental surgeon is concerned, having experience now of almost 27 years, because I started my private practice in 1991. And then I branched out into 3 clinics in Goa. That is, one was at Marga and one was at Navili, and was doing a very good dental practice. It's not that I was not doing well in dentistry, but I really enjoyed dentistry at that time. Till by chance, it was by accident, I should say. In 2008, I was invited for a life insurance seminar by the Max New York Life. That time it was New York Life. Now it is Max Life Insurance. And simultaneously, at the same time in 2008, I was also invited by NJ India Invest to learn about this mutual fund distribution system as well as the life insurance system. So initially, it was just like a hobby as a pastime, so that you can earn a little bit extra besides your professional fees. You can also make a slight more income. And what motivated me really in the first 5 years were the incentives that we were getting every quarter. So much so that I had taken almost around 27 foreign trips, totally free of cost, visited almost the whole world free of cost, as incentives from this life insurance, general insurance, as well as mutual fund industry. And these incentives were really pushing me to perform much higher and much better. So much so that I started taking a lot of interest into these mutual funds. And fortunately, there are many organizations which have helped me reach to where I am today. So of course, the first credit for introducing me into the financial industry was, of course, Max Life Insurance, which was actually at that time Max New York Life Insurance. Now, of course, the name has changed. And this organization was basically responsible for teaching me everything regarding sales, means how to convert cases and how to close cases, and how to plan your day, what is red time, green time, yellow time, all the time management, whatever leadership techniques we had. I was even privileged to attend a full-fledged certificate course conducted by Kinder Brothers from USA, wherein we learned exactly how to maintain our clients, and all this, that basic leadership training was provided initially through Max Life. Of course, through NJ also, we had a lot of training programs with all the AMCs, and I was very much fortunate that we had the technological background and a lot of new innovations being done through NJ. So as far as the mutual fund industry is concerned, of course, credit goes to this organization. And of course, in 2013, I was actually by chance again invited into BNI to take up this role as a mutual fund distributor. So I got this category and I became a full-fledged mutual fund distributor by joining BNI. And in BNI, we learned a lot of things as far as leadership is concerned, means how to generate referrals, how to get the leads, then how to conduct seminars, how to create testimonials, how your visibility can be increased, how you can increase your credibility. And of course, the formula that V plus C is equal to P, that is visibility plus credibility, will lead to your profitability. And through BNI, we learned how to do one-to-ones, how to actually do your elevator pitches. All these things, the learnings were there through this organization. And of course, as a member of the Lions Club from 1991, that is now just 22 years of age. Now I've completed 30 years of this membership. And in this club, of course, it has taught me on how to give back to the society, and how what goes around comes around, and how you can actually build a society in such a way that you can make it a better place. And fortunately, I must also thank JCI movement, because for me, this organization is the one which has trained me in conducting this seminars, trained in all this public leadership seminars which we have conducted through JCI and learned. It was very helpful. And today, because of my pressure and insistence, JCI has today introduced financial literacy as a part of personality development in their chapters. So financial literacy has already been included as far as the JCI movement is concerned. So each and every chapter for conducting this financial literacy classes also gets points awarded for their seminars. So this is like a help which I've got from the JCI, because they are also believing in the youth power, and whatever their motto is, it matches with my motto also of engaging the youth and making them better individuals for the future. So JCI, Lions, BNI, J Wealth, and Max Life, these are the organizations which have actually groomed me to what I am today. Now, after 2016, when I was actually introduced to the Goa University, wherein we have this MBA financial services students. So through BNI, I got a lead to conduct a seminar there. And the biggest surprise was when I did a survey of the 60 MBA students who were in that batch. Not a single one of them knew what is the difference between saving and investing and trading. And I said, if MBA students are not aware about these three words, what about the rest of the students? We have 14,000 graduates passing out from Goa University every year in all the professions. But what about teaching them about finances? There is not a single financial lecture conducted for the doctors, with the medical students, for the dental students, for the engineering students, for pharmacy students. So what is this that is going on? How is that just with the degree, they will be able to succeed in life? If they don't learn how to manage money, why is it not taught in colleges? So with this in mind, we found that there was a very, very big problem that is coming up in Goa, because the number of graduates being produced are very high. And second thing is the job opportunities are very low. So much so that even the highest qualified, whether it's a postgraduate or even an MBA, the starting salary doesn't even cross more than 15,000 rupees. So how will they manage to create wealth for them when they are young? So with this in mind, we started making our target market as college students and youth between the age of 18 and 25 years of age, with a vision that we have to empower at least 1,000 college students less than 25 years of age and enroll them in the Super Young Achievers Club. So the Super Young Achievers Club was launched in 2016, wherein we started identifying youngsters between the age of 25, putting them in the form of stories. So we started conducting seminars all across the colleges, so much so that most of the students' council used to allow us to do, because we used to have one scheme for them. If you allow us to do financial literacy, then only we will sponsor your events. So we started sponsoring college events, and at the events, we started doing this financial literacy program. So we had a gathering of many colleges, and all the general secretaries, presidents, and all used to come and meet me and say, Doctor, can you sponsor our event? So whenever they ask, I have to say, if your principal is ready to conduct financial literacy, then I don't mind sponsoring it. But if your principal is not interested, then forget it. I don't want to come and sponsor your college. So only colleges which allow financial literacy, then only we will sponsor. So at least because of the sponsorship, we managed to get this financial literacy classes. So as we do a class, we used to have the evaluation sheets, wherein we collect the data of all the names, their mobile numbers, their age, their date of birth, everything comes on the evaluation sheets. And then we have the staff to follow up. And many of them, our conversion used to be almost around 25 to 30% of whichever students attended. So with that in mind, then in 2017, we organized the first Super Young Achievers Conclave, where Hitesh Mali was invited as a guest speaker, and we had an audience of more than 400 college students in 2017. And after that, we again followed up with them, and that is how we started converting. Then in 2018, we had the second Super Young Achievers Conclave. Then the third was in 2019. And now for the first time, this time we had the fourth Super Young Achievers fully on digital mode. It was an online session where we had more than 1,000 students and teachers participating on 2nd October. And of course, our mission statement is financial literacy is the only weapon that can eradicate corruption, poverty, and disease. Because this, I understand, is even once upon a time, Nelson Mandela also had mentioned this. So this sentence has really got in my mind, and I feel that yes, only through financial literacy we can eradicate corruption. Otherwise, it's not possible. And corruption and all is just because of lack of financial literacy. There's no other point in this. So in 2018, we took it to a slightly senior level, wherein we started conducting this financial literacy internship program, wherein we conduct total of 5 sessions of 2 hours each for a batch. One we did for North Goa, one we did for South Goa, and it also includes an exam, wherein all those who clear that exam are given this flip certificates. And once they clear this flip certificates, they can even do the second module of internship under us, wherein they can start doing surveys and finding out in an area like what is the financial literacy levels. And if they complete a survey of 100 families, they are paid 5,000 rupees as an incentive to carry out the survey. And then what we find is, looking at the survey report, these students itself find that there's a huge opportunity for us to actually educate our people in the rural areas as well as cities, because most of the people are not aware how to actually plan their finances. So these interns finally have actually branched out, and with this today we are having almost 5 offices all over Goa, wherein we have 5 service centers, and with that the outreach towards the people is much higher. And that is how now every month we are inducting more than 50 college students every month into our system, and all of them have their own demat accounts. All of them learn, they set the goals, and based on the goals the investment starts. So we show them how to do top-ups, how to accumulate units, and especially now during Corona time, it was a blessing for us because we got the units at a very discounted price. So all of them learned what is the discount price, like when is the red moment, what is the green moment, when you should buy, when you should not buy, like when to invest in debt funds, when to invest in equity funds. All these things were taught online. And this was the batch in 2018 where we had almost around 80 students who graduated through this. And in 2019, it went up to one level higher. Even NJ decided to partner with us, and we came out with a full-fledged curriculum. It's in the form of a book, and this contains all the 5 chapters. So we started conducting it in various colleges, especially the MCOM students. And in 2019, we had almost around 320 graduates who passed out from FLIP. And all of them have opened their demat accounts, and all have started investing with SIPs of even say 500 rupees because they were students. And this module went on very well. We had a lot of testimonials from the students, a lot of testimonials from the parents, and all of them started appreciating our effort of reaching out to so many colleges. And this thing was then put up as a project to the Goa University in the Department of Higher Education. And this year we have introduced this program, that is the Financial Literacy and Investment Planning Program, in a rural college, that is at Government College Kandola. And in this college, in this year's batch, now it is made into a 15-hour program. Instead of 4 sessions, now it is 15 sessions of half an hour to 45 minutes each, and all are done online. And all these sessions are there uploaded on our YouTube channel. If you can log in on our YouTube channel, Nave Mark Foundation Live, you can see all the sessions which are conducted right from day one, and they are all in the form of videos. And the average attendance from the student side is almost around 100 to 120 students every week. Actually, it's done twice a week. Now we have completed from this batch around 11 sessions we have already completed. Now we have taken a break of 1 week, and then we'll be doing the last 3 sessions, which covers insurance. So as far as mutual funds, equity, we have already done. Now the next 3 sessions are going to be on life insurance and general insurance. And last, of course, will be the exam. And from this batch, we expect around 100 students to pass out. And the best part of it is this is from a rural college. And with the motivation that I've received after meeting the students, the way they feel so happy that they can at least learn how to invest, this has given me a motivation that in the second term, that is soon after Diwali vacations, we will be taking up more colleges in the rural areas. as compared to urban areas. So now if we can change the life of even one youngster, it's basically changing the life of one family. And let me tell you, sometimes we don't have to work for money. It's like basically making a difference, because we have already become financially free. So we need to start educating these youngsters, because none of them actually know what is the difference between saving and investing. They feel that even saving is an investment. So the basic difference, and many of them feel that trading is better than investing. So they don't even understand what is trading and what is investing. So the difference between these two simple words, and if you just teach them what is the difference between a need and a want, just what is an asset, what is a liability, simple words, I'm telling you, it can make a huge difference as far as these youngsters are concerned, and they can really learn from it. And the way I can see the reaction from the parents, which we have got a lot of testimonials from the parents, like in the form of appreciations, that like this one parent used to say that all this time my child is to only keep on spending on what things. Like now Diwali, he would have bought some mobile, he would have bought some other thing. But now after meeting you, he has totally changed, and he's telling me, I want to buy units. I don't even know what is units. So the things have changed as far as these youngsters. And for me, the satisfaction comes when one youngster says that, yes, doctor, I will be financially disciplined. And I promise to you that before 25, I will complete my 10 lakhs. So this is like becoming a millionaire, because what we have noticed is becoming a millionaire is very difficult, but after millionaire to become a crorepati is very easy. Anybody who crosses that millionaire mark usually touches that crore mark easily. But touching 10 lakhs is very, very difficult. And mostly within 1 year, 2 years, most of the youngsters, the moment they can see even 40 to 50,000 in their portfolio, they don't get sleep till they finish that also. And at the end of it, when they reach to the age of 27, 28, they're totally still depending on their parents for finances, even to get married, which I feel is one of the worst things that can happen. And I always tell my youngsters, if you're not a millionaire, don't ever think of getting married also, because now money is equal to honey. In the sense, only if you have money, you can get married. Otherwise, you can't get married today. You can't settle in life. So you need to learn the saving things right when you are in college. And with this, most of the students, they take a lot of interest in this. And we have seen, if you show them in the form of stories. Now, we have come out with these 6 books, the 10 financial commandments, which has been published in almost 10 parishes with 10 churches. Each and every commandment has been believed, and it is true with the stories it is there. Then the 10 stories to kindle fire. Fire is basically financial independence, retire early. So for this, we have another 10 stories on how these people, even the wealthy peon, we call it a wealthy peon, a person called Sunil, who had actually passed out only 10th standard and was working as a peon in a chartered accountant's office. He at 40 retires and says that now I'm going to make a big difference to the society. There are many stories in this, and these stories tell you basically the advantage of starting early. So that is one thing. Then the 15 Tales of Hope, this book was released in front of Kanak only when he had come down to Goa. This was specifically targeting the mothers, means the parents, wherein we show the parents why they have to teach the children about finances. Then this 21 stories is basically a testimonials from the clients, like how they have benefited. And anybody who reads this is like a visiting card of mine for BNI. So instead of giving a visiting card, we give you this book. So this adds more credibility. And if you read even one of the stories, you'll start believing that you are with the right financial advisor. So that is the basic thing about this book of 21 stories. Then ensuring wealth and peace of mind. This is just to create this awareness among the people that insurance is totally different from investment, and you should not mix up both. When you mix up both, you don't get anything. So insurance is the foundation, but it needs to be taken for protection only. Whereas investment is totally different from insurance. So this is what is explained in this book. And my first book, of course, was Who Says Money Doesn't Grow on Trees, because this was a real magic for me, because it happened when I started investing. And it was when I became a millionaire in 2013, after so many years of practice, that I just happened to cut one branch to buy a laptop. And that branch was of 60,000 rupees. And within 2 months, that branch grew again, because the rest of the portfolio was still growing at almost around 16%. And then I realized my laptop was free. And that is the time when I realized that, yes, money does grow on trees. Only thing, you have to grow your money plant. And this money plant can definitely give you fruits throughout your life. So the stories on this are regarding that money plant. So these are the 6 books. They are available on our website. If you go on navemarfoundation.com, these e-books are available free. And plus, NJ also has sponsored 2,000 copies of each of these books totally free, which we give it for all our students free of cost, as well as our clients. These books are given like for reading pleasure, totally free of cost, which is sponsored by NJ India, because they have given me a commitment. Whatever number of books you require, we will sponsor and will print it free of cost for you. So the back cover page is of their advertisement. And for me, with no cost, I'm able to reach out to many through these books. And the books really create your credibility, in the sense there is a lot of weightage for it. So if you write books like this, and especially in the form of stories, because what we learned even in BNI is stories sell, facts tell. So if you want to actually sell out some products, you have to do it in the form of stories. And this is what the story books actually tell us. And that is how we have managed to inspire a lot of youngsters in this. Now, in the last Super Young Achievers Conclave, we have this. I've just taken just 2 testimonials. You can just watch these 2 testimonials and see how you feel about these youngsters. Can you all hear it? Voice is clear? It's not here, not audible?
No, it's not audible.
Okay, okay. Then I'll just put this. 1 second. I'll just try and share it again. Just hold on.
When you are sharing, you will have to switch on the audio.
I know. I'll do that. I got it. No, it was done early, so I'll just put on with the sound. Yes. Sorry for that small mistake, but now we'll get it.
Hello everyone, my name is Shalaka Saraf.
Okay.
Listening to Dr. Celso.
Now can you hear
right from our first meeting, I was convinced that wealth creation should be my goal. And I wanted to start this journey with him. Dr. Celso always said that the best time to start investing was yesterday and the second best time to do it is right now. So I started investing with him as soon as I could. He's set goals for me, he clarified all my doubts, difficulties in every question that I had. And I'm very happy to say that I'm almost about to achieve the first milestone that Dr. Celso had set for me, and the milestone that I never thought I would be able to achieve. Thank you so much, Doctor, for guiding me through this. The only regret I have is not having started sooner. Right now, it will seem excessive for you to think about your future, to think about 10 years down the line. But trust me, if I could go back in time, I would tell my 18-year-old self to stop wasting my pocket money and to invest it for my future. Who knows, maybe I could have bought my dream car by now if I'd started investing it in college.
Hi, good day everyone. This is Dr. Safira Da Costa and I am a homeopath passed out from Sri Kamakshi Devi Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital, Shiroda, and I am currently pursuing my MD at Bartesh Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital, Belgaum. I'm here today to tell you about my experience with Navemark. Now let's start from the beginning. As a gold medalist at the BHMS examinations at Goa University, the MLA of my constituency, Sri Churchill Alamau, had a felicitation program for myself. And as my good luck could have it, Dr. Celso Fernandis was invited on that very same day to have a session with the people on how to get rich. My initial plan was just to receive the award and proceed to work. But when Dr. Celso Fernandis actually started with his session, it got me really interested. I mean, who doesn't want to get rich? Having grabbed my attention, I actually waited for the full session and I was very much interested in meeting with Dr. Celso and finding out more about how actually I can get financially independent. As you are aware, medical studies is a costly affair. So after that, I went to meet Dr. Celso personally, where he educated me about what exactly is wealth, what are assets, what are liabilities, and how getting financially disciplined early will help me later on in life. Being fully convinced by what Dr. Celso explained to me, I went back home and told my parents that I am interested in investing with Dr. Celso. Now, the initial reaction was not that of a very encouraging one, because as you all will be aware that investing in mutual funds have a lot of speculations and stereotypically the risk factor is supposed to be very high. But me being fully convinced by Dr. Celso, I managed to convince them too, and my journey of financial independence began. Well, today it has almost been 2 years that I am investing with Navemark. Dr. Celso has been a rock solid mentor in my life. He has always guided me to make the right investments at the right time. And not only that, he has also made me financially aware about where I am actually spending and whether what I'm spending on is actually a need or a want, and whether I can utilize the same money to buy an asset instead of buying a liability. Now, talking about the risk factor, although as you are aware, the full economy has been hit very, very badly by the COVID pandemic. Of course, initially, I was a bit worried because I could see my investment getting affected by the same. But I trusted Dr. Celso and I did not touch it. And today, not 1 rupee has been affected by this fallen economy. So I am very grateful and thankful that that day I had taken the decision to go and meet Dr. Celso. Of course, if given the opportunity, I would definitely start investing much earlier in life, because I've realized the earlier you start, the much greater your benefits. So friends, in today's world where every female is fighting so hard to be in neck-to-neck competition with their male counterparts, it is very important to also be financially stable and financially independent at the same time. And Navemark gives you the opportunity to do the same. Meeting Dr. Celso Fernandis changed my life, and definitely it will change yours too.
Yes, so this is like basically the short stories what we have, and we have quite a lot of videos like this. I think it should be, as of now, more than 60 videos which we have uploaded. And these are the testimonials which have given us a lot of credibility. And this is what I find the biggest satisfaction you get as a financial advisor is basically you are able to change the life of these youngsters. So if in case I'm able to do it and reach out to more than 1,000 college students like these, like both these girls have actually become millionaires even before the age of 27. And now they know that they are financially stable and they are able to generate, the power of compounding will start now, and they can actually see how fast that money can actually start growing. So now, as far as our foundation is concerned, we have been doing a lot of things as far as this financial literacy is concerned. But also because of the positive time, I said I will just show 2 videos, and because I want to show you back how you can actually create a brand for yourself even by starting your own foundation. Now, our foundation was registered on 25th of December 2016. We have that ATG exemption from income tax, and this is basically created to give back to the society. So now what happens is, unless and until, if you want to become rich, the only way to become rich is by giving. So the more you give, the more you get. And this is what we learned even through our Lions organizations, even in the Rotaries. And one very strong point which I have in my mind was, once I had attended a talk, and in that talk, that person told me, if you want to really be successful and you want to enjoy life, you should always believe like this. The first 25 years of your life are basically for learning. The second 25 years of your life are for earning. And whatever you get beyond 50 are for giving back to the society. Because whatever you have become today, it's because of the society. And let me tell you, the more you give, the longer you live. And that is how I have noticed. And we have started this foundation. And through this foundation, in the last 3 years, these are the various projects wherein we have already spent more than 1 crore rupees. And I'll just show you a video of the first project. It's mostly focusing on sanitation. That is improving the toilets in schools. This was in 2016. We have completed 2 years now. A unique college which we have started in Goa, wherein we teach the students all the traditional occupations. This is our full college, which is on almost 50 acres. We have prawn farming, we have salt farming, and we have this dairy farming. Then we teach them oyster cultivation. Then regarding this mussel cultivation. Then of course we have financial literacy also in that. These are college students who come there on a weekly basis. Then this is the toilet block which we have constructed for the church. is another football stadium we constructed last year. The before photos, before the condition was very bad like this. Even the doors were not closing properly. This was the condition of this toilet before. And this is now how we have changed it. So the thing is basically when you give, you will receive always. So this is one thing which is very important as far as financial advisors is concerned. If you really want to enjoy life, you should always remember that you are blessed. So you need to share these blessings and do something to the society so that you can actually be recognized. Because one day when your death comes, like when you die, you should be remembered at least for something. So you have to ask yourself, what should I be remembered for? So if you can answer this question, and if you know what is your target market and what exactly you want to make in your future, you can definitely start working on it. So for me, my dream is basically of empowering the youth in Goa and making them into assets to their parents rather than liabilities. So much so that financial literacy can make a huge difference. And I have a very strong belief that yes, through financial literacy, we can actually create a revolution in Goa. And of course, with the help that I'm getting from all the organizations, as well as through the various referrals that I'm getting, because now currently we have a client base of more than 3,000 clients, and these clients are basically our ambassadors. So we just tell them each one refer one, and we get the references like that from all the clients, existing clients. And that is how our client base has started multiplying. The power of compounding is now more than the AUM is in the LUM, lives under management. The lives under management now should be almost higher than the AUM. So our focus is not much on AUM, it is more on lives. So the more lives that you impact, the bigger the change you can bring in society. And this is what my way of looking at it. So I've done it exactly in 40 minutes. So now we can take the question answers, because if there is any question, I will stop sharing. You can ask the questions. I can even check on the chat box if there is any this, because I've not opened the chat box till now. Well, these are only appreciations. There's no questions so far.
Any questions, you can raise your hand or you can just type it in the chat box, and yes. I think Dr. Celso will answer. So I think there is one reason. I think Dr. Celso just got recently this year during this pandemic the Financial Freedom Fraternity Economic Times Most Influencer Advisor Award also. And the previous year, he was awarded as MFRT Samman also. Both of them I know because I was some or other way involved in that. But I think this is something which is, he's doing an amazing work, not only as a financial advisor or as an MFD, but also like as a philanthropy also. And this is something which he's doing. So I think even in ARN is in this foundation's name. Is that right now, Dr. Celso?
What is that? November Foundation.
Yeah, his ARN is also in that foundation name. So I think that's also something very, very unique. I have seen no one in India, at least, who is having an ARN in his foundation name, and whatever is coming, that is used for charitable purpose. So that's an amazing thing. Really, really inspiring for all of us. I think life under management, that's also a new concept, I think, which is also there. And the group of Financial Freedom Fraternity and Volatility coaches are again gaining, and we all are sharing. And I am sure that this will continue as that's amazing. So any further questions if we have, I think this will be good. If you all are looking to reach out to students, reach out to colleges, that's something which is to be done. I think the next thing which Dr. Celso will be doing is conducting RVCC certification programs also for the students.
Yes, definitely.
That's what is going to happen.
In fact, I would suggest all of them, they could actually subscribe to our YouTube channel, because on that, all the videos and even all the classes are there on that. You can watch any video anytime. There are lots of videos, like even the magical parent, the magical teachers. If you go on our YouTube channel, because during the lockdown, YouTube was amazing. In fact, we have managed to pass on whatever seminars we were conducting as IAPs. Now through the YouTube channel, we have been able to reach out to many more. So if you can just subscribe to YouTube channel, Nave Mark Foundation Live, it will help us also increase our members in that. And plus, at the same time, you can watch all the videos and all the classes. And if you click on the bell notification, all the classes that are being held live, you'll be getting the intimation of it. So you can attend, because the next 3 sessions are going to be on insurance. It's how to actually plan your insurance properly, because we have just completed with mutual funds as well as investing. And this batch is a dynamic batch of 100 students, which is currently going on. So you can log in into our YouTube channel, Nave Mark Foundation Live, and you can watch all the videos on that. And especially regarding the best video, which I like myself, is Make Inflation Your Friend. This video will change the life of any client of yours. If you make them watch this video, I'm telling you, the clients themselves will start wondering why we have not taken benefit of inflation, because inflation is one thing that really can create wealth for you. So that is one video which I feel that you all should watch. And those who are teachers can.
There is a question for you, Dr. Celso. How do you approach all these organizations, and how do you reach out to the students for these programs or the certification programs which you have created?
Okay. Now, in the last 4 years, actually, I have had meetings with all the principals of all the colleges and introduced our concept to them. And many of these principals, the headmasters and the principals in the colleges are very happy, and especially when you give them your books as an author, they'll definitely feel like inviting you to their college. And plus, with the Students' Council, we have an offer for them, wherein if in case they introduce financial literacy in their colleges, then we sponsor their events in the college. And now what has happened, most of the students find it difficult to get sponsorship for their events. And there's only one person who can sponsor, just like the 25,000 for their event, provided they conduct financial literacy in their colleges. So at least because of that sponsorship, they are forced to do it. So once we do it, we identify at least some students who are keen in it. So that way we are able to reach out to colleges. And second thing, of course, is through BNI, we are getting a lot of referrals. So we have a specific ask every week. So, and now I'm actually, we have 3 members in 3 chapters. Means our Nave Mark Foundation has joined in 3 chapters. So we have a representative in each chapter, and we have a specific ask for the week. And through that, we get referrals, and that is how we start generating these seminars as well. And now everything is online, so it becomes easier for us. So online system also, we can do a lot of lead generation, because everything goes through our website. So we host the seminars on our website, and through that, we get the leads, and we are able to generate referrals from that side also. And of course, that is like we even have conducted in sports clubs. This financial literacy can be done anywhere. So we are getting the leads from all these, like BNI as well as JCI. Now, JCI organization basically focuses on youth. So we are in tie-up with whoever becomes the zone president. We have a sponsorship budget of around 1 lakh rupees for JCI specifically. So any JCI chapter which does a financial literacy class in any school or college, they get a grant of 5,000 rupees for that, just for hosting it. So by hosting, if they organize it in 2-3 schools, they are getting almost 15 to 20,000 rupees, which they can use for their activities. So they are also very happy. We are also very happy that we have got the leads for the students over there. So that is how you have to build it, because unless you give, you will not get. So it's like in a bank account, unless you deposit, you won't get interest. So first you have to put it in, then only it comes out. So that is a phenomenon, it's a human philosophy, like unless you put it in, then nothing will come out. So you have to spend if you want to get back in return. So that visibility work is there.
You got the answer, wherein what is the right investment you really need to do in your work? Investing in BNI, investing in GCI, investing and being with such an organizations, and then again investing through sponsorship. I think this is all an investment. There are ways wherein people can invest, but I think this is a beautiful way, targeting the right audience and then reaching out to them. And that is the reason he has been able to reach out to 3,000 plus students. That's amazing figure. So amazing. Any more questions we have? This is really interesting, Dr. Celso.
Thank you.
Sure. And not only that, no, he's also doing that Swachhata Abhiyan, okay? So where, he's just making toilets. I think this also, the energy levels actually goes up. So that also is another factor which is helping him. So this is really good. So very, very nice, very, very inspiring for all of us.
Thank you.
Any other question? Okay. Yeah. So thank you, Dr. Celso.
So thank you once again to Kanak, as well as a very happy Diwali for each and everyone who was present here. It was a pleasure for me to share my experiences and my mission as far as my financial literacy is concerned. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Celso, and thank you for being a speaker, as one of the speakers of 21-week program, which is partnered by Business Line, an initiative by SSL Academy and powered by Tattva Talks. So looking forward to continuously keep working with you so that we all can together make a difference. And special thanks from all the 27 organizations which is working there like this. Okay. Okay, so let's move further. But before we move, I'll just share with you one more small video of a game which is again created for client engagement, and this is about emergency fund. We keep talking about emergency fund, but this is a small puzzle which is again created by me, and we all can actually use it. Actually, you will have to make the square with all the 5 elements, because that last square is the emergency fund. Okay, so sorry, let's move further. So friends, we have the next speaker with us, who is another young, dynamic from the IT city of India, Bangalore. Deepesh has been very, very serious planner and very, very consistent. He is a very lot of presentations he has already delivered in last so many years, authored a book, which is again about which he has been passionately doing with children, and he's also a volatility coach. So really look forward to learn from you, Deepesh, how you engage the parents when it comes to child care planning. So there are people in West who are specialized on only child care planning, children planning and all. So I think today we all are looking forward to learn something from his book and the way he is doing his business. So over to you, Deepesh. Welcome and thank you.
Thank you, Kanakji, and welcome all. Let me just share the PPT. So I hope this is visible. Hello, I hope this is visible. Yeah. So let me start off my presentation with asking few questions. These are the few queries which most of MFDs face from their clients, including myself. Give me the best scheme for investments. आपको लगता है, आपका clients पूछते रहते हैं, can you give me the best schemes for investment? Are you sure that these are some of the best schemes for my investment? Other questions which client ask is, you did not book profits when markets were high. ना आप जनवरी में क्यों पैसा नहीं निकाला, मार्च में कोल्ड हुआ. These questions you may get. You are not advised us to buy gold funds, pharma funds, and they have given 40, 50, 60% return. And such queries comes when particular sector outperforms. Another question which you may get is, my portfolio is not good. मेरा काम अच्छा है, मेरा portfolio अच्छा नहीं कर रहा. What should I do? You need to look at it again. Markets are going down. Please stop my SIPs. These are some of the concerns which most of our clients do have. Continuing with that, markets are all-time high. Should I redeem my portfolio and invest at safe place? अभी आपको क्वेश्चंस क्लाइंट्स से क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे, मार्केट 43,500 हो गया है, निफ्टी 12,700 हो गया, क्या मुझे पूरा रिडीम करके एफडी में डालना चाहिए? Should I invest directly in shares as equities from the last should I invest directly in equities as last 2 months have made lot of money buying shares? Mutual fund ने क्या किया, सिर्फ 40-50% दिया, मेरे shares ने 200-300% दिया. Should I invest directly in equity, in direct equity funds and save on expense ratio? ये आपके clients ऐसे questions पूछेंगे. Why do we have most of the investments in few AMC? आप क्यों मुझे सिर्फ 5 AMC देते हो जबकि 44 AMCs है इंडिया में? और लास्ट क्वेश्चन, वांट टू रिडीम सम फंड्स व्हिच आर रीच्ड एट पार. नो सोच आपके क्लाइंट्स ने कोई मिड कैप में डाला था और अभी 3 साल के बाद में वो एट पार आ गया है. तो ये सारे जो भी सवाल है आपके क्लाइंट्स आपसे पूछते रहते हैं और मेरे साथ भी कुछ ऐसा ही होता था. एवरी टाइम जब क्लाइंट से मिलता था, करता था, पोर्टफोलियो अच्छा रहा तो भी क्लाइंट क्वेश्चन पूछता है, निकल जाते एफडी में डाल देते. अच्छा नहीं रहा तो भी क्वेश्चन पूछता है कि क्यों ऐसा अच्छा नहीं. This is the common concern which I as an MFD have, similar to what you all must be having. So a hard question that I ask all of you, as एक example देता हूँ, is there a best fairness cream in India? इंडिया में कोई ऐसा best fairness cream ऐसा कुछ होता है क्या? ना? We all know that fairness cream का जो advertisement आता है, गोरापन होता है, these are all just doesn't work. Same way, जब आपका क्लाइंट आपको कोई क्वेश्चन पूछता है, गिव मी द बेस्ट प्रोडक्ट फॉर माय चाइल्ड, इज लाइक आस्किंग द बेस्ट फेयरनेस स्कीम. मैं इस टॉपिक को चाइल्ड के बारे में बता रहा हूँ क्योंकि आज उसके बारे में हम लोग ज्यादा बात करेंगे. आपका क्लाइंट हमेशा पूछता रहता है, मेरे बच्चे के लिए बेस्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट क्या है. दिस इज समथिंग लाइक आस्किंग व्हिच इज द बेस्ट फेयरनेस स्कीम फॉर मी. बट वी ऑल नो सच बेस्ट फंड एग्जिस्ट. ऐसा कोई भी म्यूचुअल फंड नहीं है जिसको आप लेबल कर सकते हो वो बेस्ट फंड है. Hence, how do we get the client stay in a decent portfolio for a longer term? तो जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि इतने सारे challenges होते हैं, रोज ही आप काम पे आते हो, आपके साथ बहुत सारे challenges होता है. ये पोर्टफोलियो बराबर नहीं करा आपने, वो मिड कैप फंड में क्यों लगाया, वो स्मॉल कैप फंड में क्यों नहीं लगाया, इतने सारे सवाल आते रहते हैं. But what is the best way to get a client stay in a decent portfolio for a long term? How do you hook the client to stay invested for 10, 15, 20 years? क्योंकि हम लोगों को डेटा मालूम है, अगर एक क्लाइंट अगर 8-9 साल से ज्यादा म्यूचुअल फंड में रह जाता है तो उसका वेल्थ ऑटोमेटिकली क्रिएट हो जाता है. बट वो 8-9 साल की जर्नी ऐसे सिंपल स्मूथ नहीं होती है. हमको ये सब इसके बारे में मालूम. चलो मैं आपको कुछ बताता हूँ. ये 5 कंपनीज है जो आप जानते हो, अमेजॉन, नेटफ्लिक्स, ड्रॉपबॉक्स, स्विगी, जोमेटो. ये सब 5 कंपनीज क्यों सक्सेसफुल है आज, कुछ बताता हूँ उनके बारे में. अमेजॉन में क्या होता है, हर कंपनी आके एक वाव मोमेंट क्रिएट करना चाहती है. आप अमेजॉन पे लॉग इन करो, आपको जो भी चाहिए आपको सस्ते दाम में मिल जाता है या कम एवरेज दाम में मिल जाता है. नेटफ्लिक्स पे आप लॉग इन करो, आपको जो मूवी चाहिए वो आपको मिल जाती है. ड्रॉपबॉक्स में जो आप फाइल्स और फाइल शेयर करते हो, आपके कोवर्कर्स को एनी टाइम एनीवेयर एक्सेस हो जाता है. स्विगी में घर बैठे बैठे आपको रेस्टोरेंट से खाना आ जाता है जब आप हंग्री हो. जोमेटो में भी कुछ ऐसा ही होता है. तो ये सब कंपनी आके एक वाव मोमेंट क्रिएट करती है अपने कस्टमर्स के लिए. इसलिए इन कंपनीज को रिपीटेड कस्टमर्स आते हैं. आप एक कोई भी एक इवेंट होता है, सोचो एक आईपीएल हुआ, इमेजिन करो कितने सारे स्विगी और जोमेटो के ऑर्डर आए थे, लॉकडाउन हुआ कितने सारे लोग अमेजोन और नेटफ्लिक्स का कनेक्शन देके मूवीज देखे। इन सब कंपनीज ने एक वाव मोमेंट क्रिएट, एक आहा मोमेंट करके बोलते हैं, उन्होंने क्रिएट किया अपने कस्टमर्स के लिए। So my question to you is that what is the aha moment for your clients? आप क्या वो कर सकते हो जो आपके क्लाइंट्स आपके साथ 10 साल, 5 साल, 10 साल, 15 साल टिके रहेंगे आपके साथ, जिसकी वजह से you will be having a longer sticky AUM with your clients. The answer for this is you need to have a strategy, and you need to be a strategist which keeps the client to stay invested during the ups and downs in their financial life, so that they meet their most cherished dream of making their client child's education expenses a reality. तो मैं आपको इसके बारे में कुछ बैकग्राउंड बताता हूँ. I'll just tell some background. I started my career in 2007, and I started off my college education. After my college education, I started my own company, and this is my 13th year of my own organization. I have done more than 200 IAPs in my career in the last 13 years. And after doing all the IAPs, there was a common question that was coming from clients. I was in the IAPs, I was talking about emergency fund, retirement fund, child's education, how to make an insurance, all those things I was talking. And after completing the IAP, the common question that I used to get from people is, Mera bacha, my kid is about 5-year old. What is the best investment that I can do for you? My child is about 15-year-old. What is the best investment that I can do for you? I want to send my child to US. What is the best investment that I can do for you? Now, my point for you or for all of you is that अगर ये सारे questions मेरे दिमाग, मेरे clients या मेरे participants में रहेंगे, then the same questions will be across all your clients, all your clients, all your provisional clients, that what is the best investment that I can do for my children. Keeping that in mind, I decided that I'll write a book on how to plan for child's education. Now, this book is targeted for parents who have children between age 0 to age 15. जो बच्चों का age 0 to 15 है, उन parents के लिए मैंने ये book लिखा है. So I'll be talking in detail of what this book contains and how powerful this book could be for parents. So why this book is different? This book, this is the first ever book written on child's education planning. India में कोई भी ऐसी book नहीं है जो child's education के planning के बारे में लिखा हुआ है. This is the first and only book as on today written on how to plan for child's education, and it gives an actual view of different types of expenses that parents incur. हम लोगों को ये लगता है कि child's education is just a game, but in fact this book lists a lot of points which talks about what are the kind of expenses that your child or you as a parent could incur when the child grows from the age 0 till he reaches 18, 20, when he needs money for his higher education. Why did I decide to write this book? As I told you that there are all the parents in India, we know that retirement is more important than anything else. But let me tell you, I have done a lot of surveys, got a lot of feedbacks, did a lot of customer service, and the only thing that matters for you, your clients, is I want a safe and secure future for my child. Based on that, I decided to write this book. I'll tell you what are the introductions that this book has. This book has, what are the challenges that parents face? As a parents, what kind of challenges that you could face? The rising cost of fulfilling your child's needs, to unknown villains like inflation and taxes, the changing dilemma of child's dreams. बच्चों का dream बदलता रहता है. Today the child may say that I want to become a CA. Tomorrow he may say I want to become a doctor. So how does a parent have to adhere to the child's request? The other challenges a parent faces is the child is growing but the investments are not growing. This is common. बच्चा बढ़ता रहता है, हर साल अपना height बढ़ता रहता है, but उसका investment जो है वो बढ़ता नहीं है. This is one of the challenge. Fulfillment of other financial goals. If family does not have only child's investments, they also have home loan EMI to take care, their own retirement and other financial goals to take care. So how do you have to balance the act between all the different goals that a family has? Changes in government policies affecting child's investment. the changes in taxes, the changes in other government policies, how does it affect child's investment plans? The second part talks about common investment mistakes that parents face. Wrong timing, starting late, not setting the right investment objectives, wrong choices of investments, जाके कोई चिट फंड में डाल दिया या किसी को 2% interest पे lend कर दिया, या doing the wrong sort of investments which can erode the child's wealth creation opportunity, underestimating the cost of education. In this book I have given a data of more than 75 different courses and the cost of those courses within India and abroad India, that the research that I have done, and given this mistakes like what happens if you depend on education loans, wrong financial behaviors, excuses, and I know it all attitude. बहुत सारे clients को ऐसा होता है कि हाँ I know what to do, एक LIC plan ले दिया या कोई insurance plan ले लिया और मैंने मेरा child का investments कर दिया, I don't have to worry about it. These are the common mistakes that people make. And then smart tips that every parent should know. The 80-20 principle of investing. We all know that 80% of the returns come from 20% of the time. Why you need to know the invest first and spend later technique. The rule of 33-33-33. You need to save 33%. Your EMI should be 33. Your spendings should be 33%. The theory of investment needs and expenses. Making the best of gifts. अगर बच्चों को gift आती है, उसको कैसे investment scheme में convert करके you can plan for higher education for children. If a couple or if a family is desiring to have a higher education for child abroad, what are the things that you need to take care, so that if, let's say, if some family wants to send their child to US, then what are the kind of investments that you need to do that will help that family to take care of investments outside India. And then the final steps of how you need to start off, how you need, if you have any loans, how you need to clear those loans, understanding the golden pyramid, fulfilling the child's dreams. These are the kind of last steps that I have given in this particular book. And final notes: check your financial matrix, investment sahi hai par advisor zaruri hai. Why you need an advisor to fulfill your financial goals. So some of the snips that I have taken from the book, you just look. I have just written something on what if you do own arrangements, and what if you take a loan from financial institutions. I've just given a comparison. This book is an inspiration for a child, for a parent, to make sure that why they need to start putting money for their child right now. Own arrangements, your interest, you earn interest, you pay interest, you in your own arrangement, you don't mortgage an asset, you mortgage your asset. You do small investments, small SIPs, you make huge EMIs, you don't burden yourself with debt, you are burdened with debt. No cost are involved, you pay all the legal fees when you take a loan, you benefit from the power of compounding. If you don't pay EMI, you end up paying power of compounding. Peace of mind is there when you do your own investments. Stress and due anxiety is always there. And then I have given a difference of just 1 year delay में क्या होता है. Let's say if there are 4 scenarios, that just born baby में investment, जब बच्चा अभी born होता है तब आप investment करते हो तो क्या होता है, 1 साल का delay करते हो तो क्या होता है, 2 years delay, 3 years delay. This book says that if you just delay an investment of 3 years for your child, instead of investing right from age 0, if the investment is started from age 3, 33% of the wealth is gone. This is the kind of powerful concepts that I have included in this book. What happens when you look at fear and greed? If you fear and then you make all your investments in traditional debt funds or traditional bank deposits or traditional insurance plan, what happens? What are the kind of risks that you get exposed to? And if you are greedy and then you look at investing in higher risky instruments, what happens? And then what is the why you need to have a mix of equity and debt both put together that will help you to take care of your child's needs. इसके बारे में मैंने लिखा है. And I have created some envelopes, like if you create some envelopes, like one envelope for your child's school fees, one envelope for your child's higher education, one envelope for your child's marriage expenses. If you create these envelopes and you invest regularly, then what happens?
Deepesh, a little louder.
Yeah.
There are some questions. We'll take all of them later, or like.
Yeah, we'll take them later. I'm sure I'll be having a lot of questions. And then while investing, why you need to look for short term, why you need to look at safety, why you should not run behind returns for short term needs, why you need to invest for long term, why you need to have in products which need to beat inflation, इसके बारे में मैंने cover किया है. And then this is a good concept मैंने यहाँ लिखा है कि if you are using wrong assets, if you can see the tires should be here and these square wheels should be here, but in most, just check. I have written the readers, just go and check, is your child's investment plan like this, that you're using some square wheels to drive your child's education, then the growth would be slower. And then I'm talking about the golden pyramid, that how you need to have your financial life. You need to have a financial plan in place, cover your life insurance, write a will, have an insurance, do education saving, retirement saving, personal savings, reduce your loans, and then go into direct equity investments, and then get into art and other form of investments. So this is what this is one of the things that I am talking about. And then I have given a kind of a small financial matrix that, if you have this circle, so agar aapke paas well written plan hai, then circle 7. If you have an health insurance, circle 8. Let's say if you don't have a life insurance, don't circle this. So when you add all these things, you get some score, and with this score you can know what kind of risk that you are exposed to. Let's say your score is about 35, and which is between the band of 1 to 40, then you are at higher financial risk, you need to take immediate action. If your score is between 41 to 60, so aapka basic cover ho gaya hai, but other parts are missing. 62 to 95 is where you should ideally have, and 96 to 100 is the best case scenario that you have. So these are, this book also talks about kind of a worksheet for people that what kind of things are missing. So यहाँ पे basic health insurance, life insurance, emergency fund, zero debt, track on investment planning, सब कुछ एक checklist की तरह एक किसी client को देखने को मिल जाता है. And then this also talks about different, as I told, different educational courses offered within India, outside India. Give details on how and where to invest for higher education abroad. Give details on how parents' thinking behavior affects child education planning. Give ideas on what other things parents should do. Give simple tax tips that all parents should know. Last part gives a starting point of where the investment should start off. And then it gives a clear direction on where they need to, what they need to do now to start off. And finally, it lays the importance of a financial advisor in client's life, and that helps to create that aha moment for your clients. मैंने आपको बताया था कि सब सारे companies aha moments create करने की कोशिश करती है. We as an MFD need to create that aha moment for our clients, and that is where your clients will never ask you any such questions. So मैंने starting में मैंने जो questions बताया था, reading my portfolio is not doing well, that fund is better than this, small cap में क्यों नहीं डाला, pharma में क्यों नहीं डाला, banking में क्यों डाला, you have all these questions. But if you have to get away from all those questions, then you have to drive your client's conversation towards financial goals, towards retirement, towards child's education. And this book helps your clients or helps anybody to drive the conversation more towards achieving the goal, rather than talking about whether HDFC equity fund is better or Axis Blue Chip is better. That's it from my end. It was a short presentation. Happy to take some questions from all of you. So, yeah.
That was pretty fast.
So where do you get this book? This book is available on Amazon. It costs you about 399 rupees. The name of the book is Power Your Child's Financial Future, and it's available on Amazon. Yeah.
So I have quick questions for you, Deepesh.
Please, yeah.
Especially as a MFD, the target is to do onboard clients and get investments done through them for the children. So how do you go about that? Do you approach schools, do programs for their children, and make children sit somewhere, and then this is the way you are doing, or there is some other way?
There's a different way that I do. I conduct, as I told, I conduct a lot of IAPs. And in that IAP, I talk about what could be the future cost of education. मैं बताता हूँ कि if the current cost of the education is about 25 lakh rupees, then in 15 years, when this child turns 18-year-old, what could be the cost? The cost could be about 85 lakh rupees with 10% inflation. And then I see the client, and then I see the client, and then I see the client's child, and then say that if you want this child, to have a good, decent education in his future, you need to start planning for him right now. And this is where the day has come for you to start off investing for your child's education. And that's how the conversation starts, and then it takes forward. So currently, we have about 300 families as clients, and within the 300 families, we have about 180 families, who are very much focused on doing the child's education. So I know very clear that this money is going to, will stay invested with me for the next 10, 15, 20 years till the child reaches about 18, 20 years. And that naturally will create wealth, because long-term portfolios undisturbed creates wealth for the investors. So this is the approach that I think.
Deepesh,
yeah.
My question was, how do you? This is again one-to-one. How do you make it about? Are you positioning yourself as a childcare planner strategy, or?
The idea here is to move from general to niche. The idea is there to move from general to niche in specializing the child's education expenses planning. But we know that if a client comes, he needs all the other aspects. He needs to plan for his retirement. He needs to plan for his other expenses. He needs to plan for his other goals also. So currently, positioning only a child's education may not work for me. Hence, I lay an emphasis on child's education, but we look at overall aspects, the overall 360-degree planning for clients. But let me tell you one thing, that today within my client circle, I'm known that if you have a child and if you want to look for child's education expenses, the best person that you need to approach is Deepesh Mehta. And that's the kind of brand tagline that I have got from my clients.
I think that's the advantage of writing a book and again focusing on one topic. You will be doing everything, but you are branded like, yes, it is like specialist. Yes. Like we have child specialist doctors and all things like that.
Yes.
That's very, very good. So how, what is like before book and after book? Do you think anything has changed in your life?
Yes, definitely. Today, let's say before writing the book, I need to, I used to take a lot of time to convince clients that why they need to invest through us. Today, if I just show that, I'm the author of this book and I have written this book and all those things, 70-80% of the sales is already done. Looking at the authorship. And the rest 20-30% is just I have to tell and answer those questions and, get them as our client. In fact, during the lockdown, we boarded about 17 to 18 clients online. And this was just word of mouth reference. People will ask, one client, one reference of client used to ask what I need to do, and then we used to get reference, and people were free, and then we just boarded clients. That's all. And all these clients are decent portfolios, not smaller ticket clients. And that's the advantage that you get when you position yourself as an expert.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And
my one message to all the financial freedom fraternity friends is I think we need to start writing. If we start writing, and then we either as a blogger or as an author for a book or on social media, we'll be very cautious that अगर हम लोग writing public में लिख रहे तो हम अपना facts or figures check करेंगे. And when you go and do that, automatically your knowledge level substantially increases. And that's one of the best way to grow in this profession. You have a dual advantage. You become an author, your knowledge level also goes up. So after writing this book, I would say if my knowledge level was 6 out of 10, then I would say now it's 8 out of 10. Just because of writing this book. Because a lot of research went while writing this book.
And then it becomes 9 out of 10 when you have conducted 50-60 sessions on that. That's the advantage.
Yeah.
A very, very direct question. As an MFD, how do you see yourself giving incidental advice to your clients on child planning? What is that
Yes.
you'll be telling?
Yes, very good question. So earlier we used to use the word like, goal planning, and now we are not supposed to use that. So what we do is, we ask the clients when you need the money. And the client says, I need the money in 2032. And then we say that if you need money in 2032, based on your risk profile and product suitability, you need to invest in so and so schemes. So now we need to stop talking on the word child's education goal or anything as such, but reposition ourselves, or I would say frame in such a way that it meets the suitability requirement of SEBI. And this is one way I think, this as per the legal boundary that we are supposed to work. We have, I think we should be working in that way rather than, calling as goals or, dreams of something. Yeah.
That is something very, very important, friends, I think, which is a big learning from Deepesh over here today. Incidental advice is a very, very wide term. Last week, I think Mr. Abhinesh also told the same thing, and today Deepesh is also telling the same thing. Incidental advice is a big, big term. And the best part about Deepesh is that he has already written everything in the book. So he's actually positioned himself as a planner and an expert, whatever it is, when it comes to childcare planning or something like that. So even if he's not telling, actually nobody can challenge. It is if somebody is asking something from the book, or rather a chapter from the book or anything related to that, he has nothing to do with that. He has already written that, and he cannot undo that writing of the book. So I think if we all, whatever we learn and whatever we want to share, if you all are writing something in a form of a book and getting that published, I think that is going to help each one of us, number one. And number two, incidental advice is a very, very wide term. So I think that is what Deepesh is telling. Anything more further you would like to add, which can be added as an incidental advice? Because I think this is one question which I will be asking all the speakers from now onwards. What is that incidental advice you think, and what is it all about?
Yeah. See, as per regulations, nowhere we have found where does incidental advice start and where does it end. So we need to work in the spirit of SEBI regulations. One should not be abusing that incidental advice and break the norms of what the boundary that we are working in. But we know that because we are selling MF, because we are distributing MF, we can talk about when do you need that money, how long you plan to stay invested, and that is where your incidental that is when you advise something on what you need to do, and that is where the incidental advice would come. And the biggest advantage for MFDs is that incidental advice is not taken away from us. If incidental advice is taken away from us, then we become something like a toothless tiger. दांत नहीं है मगर शेर है. Incident advice helps us to do within work in the best interest of the client, also meet the SEBI regulatory guidelines.
There is a question from Pankaj Patel. How do you get your book published like CNBC and all?
So I conceptualized this idea, then I approached CNBC, and then I told that this is the this is what I intend to write, and this is what the big market is all about, and there's no such book. So they asked me, give me the index of what you intend to write, a raw index. So I just told them these are the points that I'm going to cover. So it got approved, and then they said that yes, we can go ahead and publish. Please start writing the book, and that's how it got published. So I have a question here. Can we write a book on financial planning as of now? So friends, let me tell you, the regulations are very clear that you cannot give one-on-one advice to anybody. Let's say if Kanakji comes and approaches me, and then he talks about his financial goals, I am not supposed to give. But if I write something which is more general for public, that is completely allowed. Let's say you write an article in newspaper that is not specific to one person, that is for a larger audience. And if you're writing something for a larger audience, it does not breach any rules of SEBI. So this is very clear. I have read the regulations, I've cross-verified with multiple sources, multiple people, this is a no. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, there is a question. Why, sir, even can't discuss goal planning?
Because that is the area of RIS. So, you know, केमिस्ट और डॉक्टर के बीच में फर्क रहता है. डॉक्टर सिर्फ दवाई प्रिस्क्राइब करना है, केमिस्ट को सिर्फ प्रिस्क्रिप्शन को एग्जीक्यूट करना है. So we can't do anything. That is how we have to live with it. I think we need to work within the boundaries of what we are asked to do.
I would just like to add to Pankaj's question, finding out a publisher. The idea is you just write something and the publisher will come in front of you. That's also another way of looking at things.
Yes.
And as an MFD, I think this is answered. And we cannot discuss goal planning and all. I think remaining within the incidental advice is the key as of now. And if we all can do that, manage that, I think it is good. And as long as one more thing which I keep telling, if your client is with you, maybe no, even if a planning done, not done, if a client is with you and if the client is not complaining, nobody can do anything to you. If your client is with you, nobody can disturb your practice. If your client is not with you, then your practice is gone for a toss for sure. Am I right, Deepesh?
Yes, yes. Even if you have done something right and if the client goes and complains to SEBI, then the questions in the audit would always come up. Yes.
It's only that when your client is not satisfied. So I think that is a very, very important point. We really need to work on that and work with those clients only whom you have that value. Otherwise, just restrict yourself to incidental advice, especially for the new ones.
Yes, yes.
That's there.
So any more questions?
Any other questions? I think we had a lot of questions, good discussion so far, and it was a great learning for you, for all of us. So thank you so much, Deepesh, for all the sharings, whatever is done. So thank you again, Deepesh. For being a speaker in this 21-week program, and look forward for your contributions in the coming day for the fraternity and for all the MFDs of India.
Thank you. Thank you.
So friends, we are done for the day, and we really look forward for the next episode, which will again be very, very special, which will be little specific with the stocks. And we will have some special people talking about stock selections and retirement planning. So retirement and stock selection will be the key part of next session next week, which is 21st of November 2020. Same time, 4 to 6 p.m. And happy Diwali to all of you. Happy Dhanteras. May Goddess Lakshmi and energies of wealth keep coming and keep flowing to all of us. And let us all keep learning. And there is a raise of hand by Suchitra. If you can just. Yes, please, you can ask your question. Suchitra. Suchitra, you have a question?
Yeah, Sucharita. Yeah.
Okay, Sucharita. From Bangalore only, I think, maybe. So they are not unmuted.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. I have read his complete book. It was quite nice and quite informative. I just want to share that point. That's nothing else. In fact, I went for launch of his book. He invited me, and I purchased at that time. Anyhow, I have not read at that time, but recently I have read his complete book. It was quite good, actually.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's really encouraging. This is very, very nice. A very good feedback. Anyone else who have read Deepesh's book, you can just talk, you can call, you can just write some message. Whatever is the learning from today's session, if you all can just write few lines, I think this will be good. This will be nice, so that we can just have a recap of whatever we are learning. Because it is again, when we share it, it becomes it gets imprinted. Okay, so Chetan has just now purchased it online. So good, Chetan. Congratulations to you. I will not tell congratulations to Deepesh because he has done whatever has to be done. So it's good we all are buying, and this lockdown has given us enough of opportunity to still read, write, and play.
I think we need to thank, we all together need to thank Kanakji for knitting us all together and keeping our knowledge level high every week, every month, every year. And I think personally, I have benefited a lot from financial freedom fraternity VC. I think anybody who would like to know about financial freedom fraternity, the kind of job that they're doing, I think this is the best time that you can explore, because that is the knowledge is the best thing that we can acquire. And if we have knowledge, we have everything. If we don't have knowledge, we can't have. If almost every time when I attend his sessions or sessions conducted through financial fraternity, there's always 3 to 4 key takeaways which I can go and practice. One of the session which I had attended was on trademarks and other things. Now I'm changing my company's name. I got to know how I need to have a trademark for my own company. So these key takeaways will always help you in the long run. So if I do a trademark, it's going to be for the next 20, 30, 40 years. So those sessions will always help us in our own business.
Yes, and in the coming weeks, we are having some very dedicated session on will planning, estate planning, retirement planning for sure. Also, we will be having a session on how you can actually deal with NRIs and HNIs. Okay, which is on 28th of November is a session on how we can deal with NRIs and HNIs. And some of the real big top advice MFDs are going to share that. And next week, of course, it is on specifically stock picking and retirement planning. So again, so I'm sure all of us will have a good time. So thank you very much. Wish you all happy Diwali and all the blessings from the goddess of wealth. So